To clothing manufacturers everywhere, does anybody actually use these things, or are they just there to hang out and have somebody go, your little thingies are hanging out, can you tuck that in? That's stupid. Stupid. Impractical. Blah. Hey guys, welcome back to the Stimulus. I'm Steph, and here's what happened this week in STEM. I know you're sick of it, but yes, there is more Pluto, and this image is breathtaking. I can't even put into words how much it blew my mind to watch sunset on another planet. This image was taken 15 minutes after the Pluto flyby, and you can see some of the most stunning geographic features. For me personally, images like this just wow. Sometimes we take sunsets for granted. Yes, they're beautiful, but they happen every day. But how could you take for granted a sunset on another planet? We sent a piece of technology all the way out to the edge of the solar system, and it took this breathtaking photo, and it just, oh, the space feels. But enough about Pluto. In a completely different part of our solar system, scientists have pretty much confirmed the existence of a liquid water ocean hiding beneath the surface of Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons. NASA's Cassini spacecraft has been orbiting Enceladus since 2004, and since then we've learned that Enceladus isn't completely spherical, so it moves faster through some points in its orbit and slower through others. It also has a slight wobble or libration. Scientists have long suspected that this wobble might be being caused by an ocean hiding beneath the surface, and in 2005 they got their first clue that this might actually be the case. Cassini detected an icy plume ejecting from the southern polar region. It was throwing out the fine spray of water, icy particles, and simple organic molecules. Scientists suspected that the plume was likely being fed by a massive liquid reservoir hidden just beneath the surface. They originally thought that the liquid reservoir might be limited to a lens-shaped ocean exclusive to the southern polar region. However, gravity data collected during Cassini's close passes over Enceladus' southern pole suggested that the ocean may cover the whole moon. Now, new data derived from images taken by Cassini seem to confirm these suspicions. Scientists carefully studied more than 7 years worth of images taken by Cassini. They precisely mapped out geographic features and measured their movement due to the wobble. They then input these measurements into various models of what the moon's core looks like, including a scenario in which the core is frozen solid. They concluded that the interior most likely consists of a core separated from the surface by a global ocean. Now, as for what keeps the oceans from freezing, well, that's still a mystery and will require further study. One theory is that the tidal forces may be generating more heat than initially thought. Cassini will continue to study Enceladus, making its closest pass ever to the southern pole on October 28th at an altitude of only 30 miles up. Back here on Earth, we have some pretty weird things going on in our own oceans, namely this guy. This is the Coelacanth, a 6.5 foot long predatory fish found in the deep waters off the coast of Mozambique and Indonesia. So why are these mammoth fishes in the news this week? Well, scientists have determined that they are equipped with a vestigial or non-functioning lung. Now these guys are living fossils in every sense of the word. They were swimming around well before dinosaurs roamed the earth. It's thought that hundreds of millions of years ago, these guys were swimming around in shallow waters that are low on oxygen, so that's why they had to use the lung rather than their gills. However, when the dinosaurs showed up, several species of coelacanth hightailed it to deeper waters, and it was this move that probably helped them survive the asteroid impact that killed off the dinosaurs. Any coelacanths still hanging out in shallow waters and still using their lungs didn't make the evolutionary cut, and they disappeared about 66 million years ago. In fact, scientists didn't think that any of these guys made it until they were discovered off the coast of South Africa in 1938. Anyway, back to the science! For this study, researchers examined the lungs of this species of coelacanth at 5 different stages of development. They imaged the lungs using X-ray tomography, which allows them to take several X-rays and compile them into a 3D image. What they found is that the embryos have good, strong lungs, but as the fish grows into adulthood, the development tapers off, and eventually the organ becomes vestigial or non-functioning, a lot like the human appendix. They also found plates scattered around the lung, which were likely used for volume regulation when the lung was actually in use. All I can say is, wow, fish, it must be really nice to have a vestigial organ that's, not a ticking time bomb waiting to kill you. I still have my appendix. I live in fear every day. Appendicitis sucks. In other news, it was announced last week at the Wait, What conference, which yes, is apparently a thing, that DARPA has significantly advanced prosthetic technologies by restoring a sense of touch using a prosthetic limb. This was done by implanting an array of electrodes in the sensory cortex of the brain and directly connecting them to pressure-sensitive torque motors in the prosthetic hand. This way, electrical signals can be sent directly from the brain to the hand. The test subject, a 28-year-old male that's been paralyzed due to a severe spinal cord injury, was then blindfolded while each finger was pressed. He was able to tell which fingers were being pressed with almost 100% accuracy. The researchers even tried to trick him, jerks, by pressing 2 fingers at once, but the subject wasn't fooled. Now, this isn't the first time that prosthetics have been used to restore a sense of touch, but it has definitely been the most successful. Previous versions of this technology had limitations such as imprecise or short-lived sensations. Now, this tech isn't without its own limitations. The sensors don't cover the entire hand, and the sensors don't account for temperature or other factors that we consider before picking an object up. Either way, any step forward with this technology, even if it's a baby step, is significant. Even if a sense of touch is not fully restored, any sensation at all will improve an amputee's interaction with objects and, in some cases, even eliminate phantom pain. I think tech like this is so cool because it's going to improve the lives of so many people, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Our final story of the week deals with something straight out of one of the geek universes, although there is some debate about which geek universe it comes from. Scientists from the United States Department of Energy's Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory and UC Berkeley have developed an invisibility cloak! Well, they use the term cloak kind of loosely. The object that was covered is only about 36 microns in size, which is about 1/1000th of an inch. That's tiny. The tiny cloak consists of a 50 nanometer thick layer of magnesium fluoride covered with varying patterns of gold nano antennas. To test the cloak, researchers directed light that was 730 nanometers in wavelength, or red light, at the cloaked object. The light reflected back almost flawlessly, with the cloak acting as a mirror. The cloak can be tuned to match any background, and researchers believe that there's a huge opportunity for industrial scalability for this technology. There are some limitations with this technology. The cloak can't hide any shadows cast by the cloaked object, and the object can't move if it wants to stay invisible. Some journalists argue that this tech closer mimics what Predator uses to cloak himself rather than a Harry Potter invisibility cloak. To which my response is, whatever, nerds, but yeah, you're totally kind of right, actually. Either way, this tech is really cool. So that brings us to our question of the day. If you had an invisibility cloak, what kind of mischief would you manage? Please, nothing perverted, let's keep it PG. But let me know in the comments section down below. If you want to check out any of the stories I covered today a little bit more in depth, I will include links to my sources down below in the description, along with links to all of my social media, so you can check that out in your free time. Also, don't forget there are only 2 weeks left to buy one of these super awesome limited edition Stimulus t-shirts. I will include a link to that in the description down below, so if you haven't already, please go buy it, and if you can't afford it, please share the link. Every cent is going towards helping making the Stimulus more awesome, and I really, really appreciate all your help. Also, don't forget, if you buy a shirt, send me a screen capture of your confirmation email, and you will automatically be entered in for a chance to win a super awesome avatar or a profile picture drawn by the super talented Cabrera, who does all of the artwork for the Stimulus. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, then I encourage you to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm putting out videos every week to talk about the latest and greatest in STEM news. Also, if you find any really cool STEM-related news stories throughout the week, please feel free to tweet those to me on Twitter at StephEz43 using the hashtag TWISTEM, and they just might make next week's episode. But with that, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Of an underwater ocean. Enceladus. Distance of an it's not underwater ocean, Steph. That doesn't even make sense. Stop saying underwater ocean. It doesn't even make sense. Bed. Blah, 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 blah. Or maybe a lens-shaped ocean. It's not even, I don't even know what accent that would be. A stupid one, because I'm an idiot. No bark. Word. The word. They were swimming around way blah blah blah. Didn't make the blah 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 blah. Eventually the organ. Nope, that wasn't it. Blah 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 blah.